live.
All right, we are literally live. Chad's still going on about how much he tweeted just recently.
So many.
So, hi guys. We got like the whole grid method teach further, teach better PML crew here. If we had a fifth screen, we'd bring Amber in. If we had a sixth, we'd bring Nicole in. If we had a seventh, we'd bring Michelle in. But we only have four. Anyway, so I've got Ray here as always with me. Anytime I'm here, we got Miss. This was awesome, Tiffany, Mama Tiff, and then of course I've got Mr. Ostrowski, who led our chat tonight. And tonight we talked about the Teach Better mindset. So typically I would go to the moderator first, but I just always have to do this anyway. Tiff, how you feeling?
I love it. No, like, okay, so I don't know how it happens, but every week, like, I just like it more, which is crazy because that seems fundamentally impossible. But I loved this week because, like, the whole Teach Better mindset, I mean, it applies to everything, right?
Yeah.
It's not just like one specific itty bitty thing that we're trying to do. Like, it's just teach better. And so the conversation was everywhere from everything. I love that we talked about tech tools. That makes me happy. But anyway, I'm going to stop babbling. I loved it. It was awesome. So much fun.
Okay, that's what I was looking for. Chad, how you feeling? This was your first. We've been doing this for like we're approaching a year now since we first launched this, and
Yeah.
this is the first one that you've done. Which one is awesome? Just that we've had so many amazing like guest moderators and stuff that we've never really had to like even ask Chad to do it because Chad's usually out in schools and running all over the place, and I fly him everywhere I possibly can think of. But we set this one up and you took it on, and I mean, how are you feeling right now after? Because I know it gets crazy.
I mean, if it's cool, I'm gonna go take a nap. I mean, I'm pretty tired. No, it was intense. Like, it was more intense than I thought it was going to be. Like, I kept on telling myself, it's okay, Chad. It's just Twitter. Like, it can't hurt you.
It kind of takes over, doesn't it?
And like, it's just like it would be like 2 seconds. It'd be like 47 new notifications, and it was a little overwhelming for my social media impaired mind. But it was a great experience, and being able to interact and being in charge of moderating such a powerful chat, because seeing it grow and you guys being nice enough to let me moderate it now, like once it's grown, as opposed to a year ago when it started. I think that was fantastic, and it just amazes me. It really amazes me how much it's grown and how powerful I feel like it's become, because you can literally viscerally feel like the energy that these teachers are feeding off of, and these principles. You can feel that like they're recharging to get through the rest of the week and through the weekend, and the way that they're talking to each other and connecting is just, it's so powerful. And it's amazing to me, and I'll stop blabbing in a second, but it's amazing to me that, like, we work with teachers live all the time, and it's usually teachers from a single district or teachers from a single school or a single county or something like that. But the scale of what this is just amazing to me, and getting the reactions in real time when people aren't dressed up nice for work, but like in their PJs on Twitter, getting like these authentic responses and feelings, and just such a cool experience. I'm glad I finally you guys finally got me to do it. I'll say it that way, because I don't think I completely volunteered. But in the best way possible. I truly appreciate that. It was a fantastic experience, and it was awesome.
I think that means that we can do another one, right? We can put his name on another one.
4 countries represented tonight.
That's awesome.
Chat, so, which is fantastic. I don't even know how many states, but so yeah. And Chad touched on that. Like, that's why I love it. I mean, you really can. And that's why, like, you were feeling what you were feeling when you're like, Chad, it's just Twitter. It's because you're feeling all that energy. And it's crazy that we can feel that through like tweets and through the screen and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, you get like just jazzed up about it, because like you get people sharing so many like passionate stories or ideas and thoughts, and then the comments come in going like, I'm coming from this, I rushed home from this, I had meetings, I'm this, I'm in my car. Like, they do so much to make sure they can take a part of it, because it like Chad says, it re-energizes them, it refuels them. Like, that's really, really cool to be a part of this team that's created that. Like, that's really neat. And to hear that from people that, oh man, I needed it this week. Like, I needed that boost. I needed this pick me up. Like, that's just, it's, oh, the warm fuzzies, you know, Tiffany.
Well, I mean,
that's why I always say it's awesome.
Yeah, it was also really cool to bring the teach further mindset into the forefront of the conversation.
The teach better mindset.
Oh my gosh, did I do
it? We can't not do it.
Yeah, I can't. Ray's right there. We were just talking about the question.
They all go together, right?
Wow.
Teach
it works. Still, I mean, it works.
We just want to teach well.
Chad's brain is fried.
The teach better mindset. It was very cool to bring that to the forefront, because it's been literally behind everything we've done before this team existed, before any of this existed. It's been sort of the foundation. Just that philosophy has been the foundation for so long. But it doesn't really get like directly talked about a lot. And so it was really cool to kind of bring that out, kind of shine a light on it, and then get people's take on what they think it is and what they can do to kind of embody that themselves. So that was a really cool thing to do. I was really happy with the topic and kind of how people reacted to it.
Well, and Chad, I love that, because a lot of what you said about the teach better mindset, being able to have that, this was the most perfect time of year to do it. Teachers are either going on or starting or about to start spring break or coming off spring break, and having the reminder that there's still a ton of year left and we need to continue growing. It was a perfect topic for a perfect time.
It was perfect.
It was
awesome.
Except for the slow moderator.
Yeah. That's all right. We got that.
You did so good.
Can we all just be real and transparent for a half second and just give a shout out to Amber? Because I think we all know Amber was a big part of things going well tonight.
I will give like a double shout out to Amber.
She's fantastic. I know actually at one point like your Twitter froze up or something, and you're like, don't know what happened. Amber's like, I got it. It's cool. But I mean, you fixed it. But like, I know how that is. Like when you're going, like Twitter like freezes or something, you're like, what is going on?
Yeah, like if
that was good.
Like Amber is the equivalent of like my walker when it comes to Twitter. Like, without it, I would just fall down or something. But
we all need a little help, Chad.
Yeah.
In certain things.
Or more appropriately, she's kind of like the cart at the grocery store for people who can't like walk as well as other people. Because, you know.
Oh, Chad.
I think this has gone off track with that one there. But
that got such a good visual.
All right, so let's talk more about the chat.
Bring it back.
Tiff or Ray, whoever wants to go. Anyone? How about Ray? I'll flip to you. Any particular answer, thought, tweet, anything from anybody today that stood out at you that really like kind of got you going?
Well, it was interesting. He did a lot of his questions with like one specific idea, how do you teach better here, right? How do you do tech tools? How do you do engagement? How do you do differentiation? And so I really love that format, because while there was so much consistency, there's also so many different answers, and a lot of them focus on reflection. For me specifically, I felt like that's what I needed for this chat. I kind of have had a long week. I'm about to start spring break, maybe getting too eager too fast, but I really feel like I needed to take time to reflect, step back, and really remember all of those best practice things you should be doing. Megan, I want to give her a shout out. She was talking about writing a nice and kind note on a Post-it before an assessment for all of her 150 students. And I'm like, gosh, I wish I did that today. You know, like it was a great reminder for me that even though spring break's coming, even though our year is close to over, gosh, there's so much more that we can do as teachers. And I needed a reminder today. So for me personally in Mastery Chat, I learned a lot, which I always learn a lot in Mastery Chat. This one was really kind of special. I loved being reminded of that teach better mindset, because I strive to have it every single day in the classroom. So it was awesome.
Well, and to piggyback on that, somebody posted a comment about how this time of year, as teachers, we kind of tend to perhaps have less purposeful plans and not as fully thought out units that we're doing, right? And that is hello, I'm there, like I'm right there. Aw, Megs. And so that reminder to kind of say like, okay, it's not just about getting through the days. It's about getting through the days and doing it well and being very purposeful in what you're doing. Because it's so easy this time of year to be like testing and spring break and the kids are nutso and all of these different things. So I really like that.
Yeah, and in a way, teachers are sort of like sharks, right? Like if they stop swimming, they die.
Okay.
Like you know, like
okay.
But seriously, in every time in my own professional career, and something I've observed is that anytime you stop evaluating how you're doing, or you stop trying to improve or tweak, or maybe you get a little bit more lax on those systems, those routines, the planning structure that you want to use, anytime you kind of start to slow to a stop and go, this is fine, it's going to be okay, I'll get to the end of the day, like, it's amazing how quickly that spirals into just like this awful pit of just like reduced achievement, reduced engagement. And more importantly, and I personally felt this, which is a lot of where this came from, was like my goal was to get through the end of the day. And it became that. And the day I realized my students knew that was the day that changed my lives, because eventually they figure out that you are getting through to the end of the day and that you aren't giving them your best. And that was a moment for me that I never want to experience again. And so like that really is a moment that I think a lot of teachers have where they stop and they go, oh my gosh, I've been really laxed about X, Y, and Z, or oh my gosh, my kids are bored out of their minds right now because I didn't make a good plan and I'm having them read out of their textbooks today. It's so easy to kind of get stuck, right? And I'm hoping that something simple just like that mantra of teach better can help people just kind of reinvigorate that idea of, okay, how can I start tomorrow? What can I do better tomorrow than I did today? What can I do better next period than I did first period? Like all of those things. And as long as you're improving, like you're on the right track, you're still swimming, you're good.
Well, and I liked at the beginning of the chat, Chad, you asked people to define what Teach Better was. Yeah. And I really loved that moment of reflection, not only for myself, but seeing what other teachers were thinking when they were thinking, what does Teach Better stand for? What's the whole purpose behind this mindset? And a lot of what I was reading was about continuing growth, striving for more, reflecting, growing, and moving forward, right? Putting students first. I mean, like, those are the reminders that keep us swimming strong. I really like that.
Yeah.
That's good
Absolutely.
stuff. Tiff, anything stand out for you? Any tweet or shared resource or
GIF,
anything?
I'm going to gravitate to tech tools because that was probably my favorite question of the night. Besides, I really liked the first one where we had teachers like coming in and telling what Teach Better meant to them. But I love tech tools, and anybody who has ever seen me talk about pretty much anything knows that I am such a huge believer in the fact that tech is not something that you use just to use. And so I loved the way you phrased that question, Chad.
I stole it from you.
Oh, I thought you might have. But how it's all about, like, it's not about checking the box of tech. It's about using tech to absolutely transform the way we learn. And so I got into this really fabulous side conversation about Classcraft, which is this, like, epic tech website that lets you bring gamification. It's like a role-playing game in education with experience points and just so much awesomeness. But I was introduced to it by Stella Pollard, who's a great, she's amazing. She is always in our chats. She teaches down in Kentucky. She's great. And I was introduced to it over the summer. And so I was just talking about this new thing that I discovered in Classcraft where you can do these quests and student choice and self-paced learning. It's just so cool. But so I was talking about it, and a couple teachers were like, oh, what's that? I wanted to learn about that. So I'm going to, after we get off this live, I'm going to go DM them and be like, hey, here's what it is. Let's talk, and let's figure out how you can make this so cool.
I'm pretty sure we've got a blog or a video or something coming up that you're going to do on Classcraft, right?
Yeah,
I think so.
We do. You know, I don't know if I'll be able to fit it all into one video. I might have to do like a super quick
series.
here's how awesome it is. Now here's all the different little things you can do in it, because it really is a great tool. Like if you use Class Dojo, which is a behavior tracking approach, you can do all of that with Classcraft and build in a lot of other things. You know, I love gamification. So yes,
Very cool.
I could talk for hours on that. Sorry.
Speaking of tech stuff and how awesome TIFF is, Amber just posted the link to the free Tech Tools to Teach Better course that Tiffany did, and that's an introduction. How many's on that? Is there 5? 4 tools.
Socrative, Padlet, G Suite, and Flipgrid?
Yeah.
No. Edpuzzle.
It's Edpuzzle. Yes, thank you.
Oh.
Flipgrid's going to be in part 2.
Yeah.
So that's free. You can check that out. That's awesome. Speaking of courses, and awesomeness, we talked about it at the beginning too, but we just released or just announced a few days ago. The pre-sale is out for the launch that's coming up on the 30th of the brand new full-blown Teach Further course. And that's a course that, about a year in the making, if not longer. Blood, sweat, and tears from Ray in there, and just an awesome course. I'm so excited for people to actually get in there and get their hands dirty in the course. Right now it's on pre-sale. I think Amber will post a link in a minute. If she doesn't, I'll make sure we get it over there. But that's up right now. You can save yourself a little over 50% on that. That price will go up on the 30th. And if you enroll now and you pay that lower price, as soon as we flip the switch on the 30th, you will have immediate lifetime access to that course. Ray's getting super excited right there, and I'm going to flip to Ray and say, Ray, I know we did this earlier, but I want to make sure everyone gets this. Give me a little bit of what can I expect when I get into the Teach Further course.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for the Teach Further course. I know we've mentioned it, but every time we're on live, I'm like, oh, and I didn't mention this. Oh, and I didn't mention this. But the Teach Further model is all about taking all the great things you do in your classroom, whether it's a grid method classroom or you've been teaching the same way for 30 years. It's taking everything you've been doing that you love and asking you to take it one step further by involving your community to add really strong purpose to the classroom. And actually, Tiff and I had this great conversation on live yesterday. Was it yesterday, Tiff? Gosh, it's like the days are flowing together. They are.
Yesterday.
But one of my favorite things that Tiff was talking about is how kind of for so many educators, it's like scary to reach out to the community. They're not sure what they're going to get. And when you invite people into your classroom, you're worried you're inviting, criticism rather than inviting them to see the magic of your classroom. And so throughout this course, I will walk you through how to design an entire unit, a themed internship sponsored by a local business that'll allow you to create a community partner, sponsor up, create a really dynamic and innovative unit for your students, adding value to your content. And then, oh man, does the magic just naturally flow. It's so much fun. I cannot believe this is officially released and on sale. That's just awesome. I just want everyone to have access, so get it on sale.
I love how excited she is. It just makes me so happy. She's just like a bubbly unicorn who's like, come join in my awesomeness because it's fabulous.
I just
bubbly unicorn.
Who's got okay, Mallory said something about the coffee mug. Who's got a coffee mug? Someone drinking out of a
Chad Berry, obviously.
Nice. Those are new. All right, those are the new ones. The Teach Better.
I don't have one of those.
I don't
will
either.
Calm down.
No, we know where we stand, Ray.
Wow.
And our Teach Better mug
okay,
too.
Time out. All right, let me just set these two straight real quick, Chad. The reason we got those mugs specifically was to give them to you. So I will be over here. I'll be the guy waiting for your apology. That'll be me.
I haven't gotten mine yet.
Right.
Will, calm down. Horses are a little slow from Ohio, okay? It takes a little bit to get them there.
You sent it Pony Express?
Yeah, I did.
I'm at your house every day, Jeff.
A carrier pigeon?
Yeah, well, I forgot to give it to you.
Oh,
Okay.
right.
Tiff was literally at my house like 3 hours ago. I don't know why.
Yep. Oh my God.
I have a box over there. Make sure you get it next time.
Amber
So
doesn't
So if you're
Not one either.
listening, If you're listening right now, you better be typing in the comments that you should be getting a mug too,
Oh
because
my
we're spending so much time focused on this. He is sending them out. He'll already be at the post
Yeah,
office. So make
it's
sure you
almost
type
like we
comments
shouldn't
right
be
now.
doing this on Facebook Live.
We
Like,
are so much
it's
value.
almost like,
We talk about coffee mugs.
yeah, I'm pretty sure they're going to be on the site soon. Maybe I'll put them up there. So,
yeah,
well,
maybe.
Susan, I'm like, it's perfectly cool, Susan. But
It's okay,
can I
Susan.
tell you how weird it was
Totally
to not
weird.
see Susan in the chat? Because
Yeah.
she's in all of our chats. I'm glad that she was doing something. Because I was like,
can't
where
think of
is
the last
Susan?
time she missed one.
I do think that's the first time.
Yeah.
She must have
Well,
heard
how
Chad
was
was
the
doing it.
level meeting, Susan? Was it good? Hopefully it was valuable.
Sorry. What? Yeah. Hopefully it was a good meeting there since you missed Mastery Chat.
Well,
I mean, we'll
it would have
forgive
been at
you.
a really great university. So I'm just
Ray's alma mater, right?
Yes. Yes. You're in the Hall of Fame over there, aren't you?
I am.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Famous.
Anyway, okay. Let's do some final words. Any final words about either Mastery Chat tonight or the awesome course announcement? Anything like that?
Who's going first?
Whoever wants, go, Tiff.
Go me. Really just always bringing it back to why we are teaching and why we want to teach better, and finding that moment to reflect and say, I'm working really hard. Where can I make tweaks, right? Because it's not about saying to any teacher, you're not teaching good enough. Like, that is never the mission. It is always about, you're doing awesome things. Let's find a way to make those awesome things just a little bit more awesome, right? So teach better, not you suck. So I love that mindset. I love it. That was very eloquent. I know.
It was actually originally called "You Suck," but I changed it.
Good marketing move, Jeff.
You suck.
Well,
Pete. Don't
that
suck
was gonna be-
anymore.
Okay, go ahead, Ray.
No, that was going to be my final thought, Tiff. I agree with you. That whole teach better mantra. Chad said it so wonderfully as we first started the chat in our preview, how the better concept is just about always wanting to increase what we're doing, enhance what we're doing, and it's a growing process. And so I hope if my last parting words would simply be, really just hone in on reflecting and continue pushing yourself. The year is not over, even though we're all exhausted. There's so much more purposeful learning that we can provide our students. So keep up the good work, and don't let all this negativity of spring break come in and all that stuff bring you down. We have so much goodness left.
Chad, any final words?
Well, they did such an amazing job. I don't have that many left, but I can try. Let me give me a minute. I'm still tired of tweeting so much. But I think Ray and Tiff both had a great point, but Ray especially with the end of the year coming, right? So it's really hard as you get closer to the end of the year to go, why does it matter? Why does improvement matter? Why does incremental improvement matter? Why does caring a little bit today matter when it's almost the end of the year? And something I learned early on in my career was that improvement that happens at the end of the year is that much better of a start the next year. So like anything you improve in your classroom in the last month of school, in the last 2 months of school, in the last 3 months of school, those are improvements that you'll then get to benefit from the rest of your career. And so that's why better is such an important mantra, because even though we tend to get stuck in like this calendar frame of mind where we go, well, this doesn't matter because it's this day, or we have a long weekend, or the end is coming here. If we focus on ourselves as professionals, as educators, and as learners and educators, those improvements stay with you, and those improvements stay with your students, and your students still have to be in your classroom, whether you're getting better or not. So why would you not want to be the best version of yourself and better every single day for them, regardless of what the calendar says? So I think that was a great point, and I think I'll leave it with that. I had an amazing time moderating the Twitter chat. I'm going to have to take a couple weeks off from moderating Twitter chats to recoup till I do it again. But it was definitely a great experience. So I want to thank everyone who participated.
I think
Thanks
you did
for
okay
doing
with
it,
those
Chad.
final thoughts there, buddy. Nice work.
Awesome.
Speaking of weeks off, next week you can take the week off because we've got the amazing Melanie. I don't know if I know how to say her last name right. I'm going to say Corich. Melanie is an amazing teacher from up in Ontario, Canada.
Nice.
She does a Starfish Club chat
Yeah,
that she
she's
does as well.
fantastic. Yeah.
She's just like, every morning I wake up, my Twitter feed's filled with like her positivity and her like, just like, I mean, if you don't follow her, it's always positive, just all the time. So I'm really excited. She's going to be leading us on a chat about growth mindset. So
Nice.
join us again next week here. We'll be live here before the chat, of course, chatting about what the chat's going to be about. I don't know if Melanie's going to make it on or not, but we're going to try and get her on live at some point. And then hang out with us in the chat, and then come back and chat with us here again, right?
We just love to chat.
It's a whole lot. It's a whole lot of us on Thursdays, and that's okay. So again, anything? I'm sorry, I'm getting off track here. If you want to take a shot at Teaching Further and go get the pre-sale, a little more than 50% off, go to you can go to www.teachbetteracademy.com. It's on there along with all our other courses. And of course, you can always go to thegridmethod.com. But come back next week, get on Twitter, engage with us, and get into Master Chat. We'll see you guys. Thanks a lot.